Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Wait What? The podcast, the only thing that goes off the rails is a train of thought. Joining me today is a very good friend, Luis Tayahua.
Hey, what's up, man?
How's it going, Luis?
Good, good, dude.
Thank you for coming by.
No problem, bro.
How's your morning going so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah? Do you start early? Take your days?
Yeah, no,
No.
depends. If I get up by like 6:30, then I start my day early. If
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
if I get up by like 7:30, the kids get up, and then it's time
Yeah.
to get them ready, and then I get ready, and then
Nice.
so yeah. But yeah, I guess compared to what I used to start my days, yeah.
What was
But
the earliest your days have
no,
started?
I used to start at 9.
Nine?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But yeah, so one question we like to start off being here is like, who is Luis Tayahua?
Mm, At the moment, we say I'm a father, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a business owner, and just trying to figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, right? But let me ask you this: like, how was it growing up? Were you an only child, or?
No, so I'm the oldest of four.
Oh,
Um, I'm the oldest of four. I have one brother and two sisters. We're all like 5 years apart.
oh, okay.
Este, yeah. So like, I grew up in the 80s, in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was born in 1980. I grew up like on the south side of Chicago or southwest side. I had a lot of family around here in Little Village that lived
yeah.
here back then. Um, I was born and raised in Summit, where the bar's at, where I met you. Um, and yeah, dude, just a Latino trying
Yeah.
to make things happen. Este, yeah,
And I feel like you have a lot of success. Like I think from trying to make it happen to make it happen. You know?
yeah, trial and error.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing not to give up. Just keep going,
Mhm.
and you figure it out. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
just can't stop. That's the
Um.
biggest issue.
Let,
Biggest thing.
let me ask you this: did you always knew you want to be a business owner, or what was the part that got you like like fuck everything else? This is what I'm gonna go for.
You know what? Um, when I was younger, yeah, I wanted to be a business owner. And then I got into the workforce, and then I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to do that. And then honestly, um, the jobs that I would apply for, I just wouldn't get them. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
well-paying jobs. So it came to the point where I was like, one of two things: I keep on applying and figuring out, seeing if I could be someone's an employee and make a living that way, or I'm just gonna start a business. Like
Yeah.
what's the saying? Um, they don't give you a seat at the table, make your own.
There you. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was my thing. I was like, you know what? No one's. I'm not gonna get a chance right now, so I might as well just do it myself.
Yeah.
And I've had help along the way. I haven't done everything myself. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like we've started businesses and
Hmm.
just keep going. You know what I mean? Don't stop.
Yeah. And did you know that you wanted to do a bar off the bat, or was there other things you tested out before you got to the bar?
So my plan was, um, I had owned a property.
Mm.
So my plan was to buy more properties, but then I needed cash flow. So I thought to myself, you know what? I always worked in the bar and restaurant industry. So my plan was, you know what? I'll open up a bar restaurant. But then like on the other side, I've always worked in insurance.
Mm.
So I weighed both options, and I said, you know what? I'll open the insurance. That'll give me the cash flow to buy more properties. The properties give me the
Yeah.
cash flow to open the business.
Yeah.
So none of it worked out the way it was supposed to. Like
Okay.
it never does. You know what I mean? But I opened up the insurance brokerage 11 years now with
No,
that.
nice.
Yeah. And then right before I was gonna buy the bar, I was between buying a property or buying the bar. But then I'm like, you know what? I'll buy the bar. The cash flow from the insurance and the cash flow from the bar, I'll start buying properties. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It'll help me invest in that. And then in other investments that I was looking at. But the bar business didn't work out the way I imagined it was going to
Hmm.
at the time. So so again, just gotta reinvent,
Yeah.
rethink about how I'm gonna go about things. And yeah, so to answer your question, when you're young, when I was younger, I wanted to be a business owner. Then I just wanted to have a normal job. I couldn't get that for some
Yeah.
reason. So as they or a well-paying job that you know what I mean that I could live comfortably with. So I thought, you know what, like this, I might as well just start a business.
Yeah. And what's from opening the bar, what's the one thing that kind of surprised you from like being the business owner? Something that you're like, I didn't think I would have to deal with something like this. Because me now, like, if I mean, I've never owned a bar, but
Hmm.
I imagine it's one of those like, obviously you got to do like inventory, cleanness, like making sure everything's good. But what's one thing that first time you had to tackle? You're like, I didn't think I had to worry about this. Like,
You know what? Outside
mm,
interference, especially in bars, is a big thing. Um, Politics in general, like politics
mm,
and in every way imaginable, from politicking with normal people, politicking
mm,
with politicians, politicking with groups of people. It all it that to me is what really I wasn't prepared for. Like the all the other stuff that you talk about, like
mm,
that stuff that you learn
yeah,
before working in bars and restaurants and stuff. So you kind of you already have an idea. But when it comes to like the outside obstacles that come, that that really um
that are hard to prepare for.
yeah,
The
hard to prepare for. You can't really do anything about it because they're not your problems. They're
yeah,
problems that other people bring, or other situations bring, that has nothing to do with you. I always tell, like, when I have conversations with people, like with towns and cities and all that. I'm a real big advocate of with people about letting people do business. Um, Towns shouldn't shut down businesses. Towns should help. Towns and cities should help businesses try to succeed.
hmm
And that's not what happens. Especially now, I feel like after COVID, the answer for everybody is just to shut people down. You know what I mean? Businesses don't control what happens outside their doors. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's the towns. That's the police. You know what I mean? If the cities and the towns don't let the police do their job, or the politicians don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's a trickle effect. Everything affects everything.
yeah,
And right now, I feel like the businesses are the ones that are under attack. Everything goes against the businesses and the business owners. You know, people think that business owners are just making money hand over fist, and it's not. There's a lot of overhead that comes along,
yeah,
and that, I think, the outside stuff that affects businesses way more than a lot of other things.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense. Cause yeah, even as you're talking about, I'm like, yeah, I would never have thought about that.
Yeah,
Even then, how does one even go about preparing for it? Like,
yeah. An example: I had a town meeting once. This is when I barely took over that bar, when I barely bought it. Um, they were telling me about stuff that was happening outside in the town, and then I told them, I'm like, well, I can control everything inside. I'm like, but unless you want me and my security to police the streets outside,
yeah,
um, you know, I don't see how that's gonna fix a situation, or it's gonna make it more dangerous. I mean, we can do it.
hmm
That's no problem. Um, but then then everybody's gonna
yeah,
come and be like, hey, why did you guys do that? Well,
yeah, yeah,
we're policing. I mean, then becomes the wild wild west kind of thing. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And it's kind of crazy to blame it kind of like on one part of town because there's so many areas that have like like a bunch of bars and stuff around them that I wonder if they face the same issues or how do they go about it being like, well, this is you guys as opposed, you know what I mean?
I think in the city it's different. The city different. There's zones, and there's different aldermen. The city's huge. I think in towns, what it is, it gets compressed so small that
hmm
it's easier for the town to just blame everybody, or just blame one. Change the rules for everybody, and just leave one. You know what I mean? Even if it's just one troublemaker that's making
Yeah.
the problems. You know what I mean? And in the city, it's different. I think the aldermen have their zones, and those are like little towns within the city. You know what I mean?
hmm
Where things are doing. Some aldermen understand the benefits of having a lot of business, having a good district. other people don't. They don't understand it. I mean, not nobody's ever gonna know it all. You know what I mean, and
Yeah,
nobody's never gonna see things the way you see things. So I think that's a big issue. Well, not a big issue, but I think that's an issue
yeah.
where you know what I mean everybody just thinks different. I mean, each head is its own little world.
I think you might have to do an alderman push.
Yeah, no, no.
be be the fix the problem from the inside.
Yeah, politics.
Yeah,
People talk to me about it, but no, I don't. I don't know. I
yeah.
don't think I'm not in the near future.
Imagine next time we see you like Mayor Lewis.
Yeah.
But you say you worked a lot in like in the bar and restaurant industry. Like, what was your start in that?
So my dad had friends that had restaurants. This is in the 90s, mid
Hmm.
90s. Um, so in the summer when I would have summer break, he would send me. I was 13. He would send me to go work for them. So I would work the summers like at places or just go
Yeah.
help out. I have friends that the same thing. They had places. So all through my teens and early 20s, I would just go help out, or I would go work on the weekends or on my days off. I would go work at restaurants
Hmm.
and yeah, couple of well-known ones. I mean, just
Yeah.
put it.
But this was because I worked as a cook.
Okay.
Yeah, and I kind of don't want to say I worked in the kitchen because I was the only one in the kitchen.
Uh huh.
It was at the hotel I'm at now. It's just literally just the bartender and the cook.
Yeah. Oh.
So and sometimes the dishwasher. So it's like we weren't really. I don't know. I think working at a restaurant or like a kitchen, like you form like a team.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is just two of us. Like I don't. We killed it. You know, we were on it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and I think I don't. It's just because the reason I kind of want to lead to is because you also started an app, right, for for bars.
Yeah. So I'm working. I started it. It's live already.
Hmm. What's the name of it?
It's called Cantina Pro.
Hmm.
So it's a bar management system basically, but it's an app. But you could use it on your computer. You could use it on your phone. It's a lot of the things that I used to do, but I used to do on pen and paper or like on
Hmm.
computer. So it just makes everything easier because it's on an app. So you do basically everything on your phone. It's still on the beta stage of it. As a matter of fact, we're using it now at the bar.
Hmm.
Then now that we reopened, um, I use it a lot for scheduling. um, and like things that would cost you money. The app, yeah, I mean, the app does multiple things. So like for businesses, your scheduling for your employees and all that. There's apps that do it out there, but the price points are way more expensive, and some of
Hmm.
those apps don't even work as well. So I made that a strong point on the app. What else did I add on there? We added I have inventory on there. A checklist. There's feature. I did a lot of features on it at first, and then I kind of started taking stuff off and making it simpler just to make it run faster and better.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it, but basically what I want is to have it as something that bar owners could use, and bar owners and eventually restaurant and everything else. I'll be able to implement it into.
Hmm.
But so like, let's say if you're the owner of the restaurant or the owner of the bar, the thing with having businesses like those retail businesses, you always have to kind of be there because you always like have to make sure that they did
Yeah.
this, they did that. Um, the app helps with that because it keeps accountability. Everything's on the app. So if an employee says, you know what, I forgot to do that or I did that, like dude, like it's on the app, it's on the checklist.
Yeah.
You mean like you kind of make it dummy proof. So I mean they see what they have to do, and hopefully you know what I mean? They do their job well, and if not, there's the accountability part where you know, like, hey man, I've been telling you to do this. It's on the app. There's no excuse for you not to do it.
Hmm.
Or there's no excuse for not that for you to say I didn't know about it, this or that.
Yeah.
It helps with communication. I think communication is a big thing when it comes to restaurants, bars, and everything else. Everybody has to be on the same page on things. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If you don't have if you don't have if you don't have a leader, someone leading the team. You know what I mean? It's just everybody's just doing whatever they can or whatever they think they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And so the app helps with that. Helps you dictate. Saves you time. You know what I mean? There's a chat on it, group chats. So instead of like um having 3, 4 chats on different platforms, on a WhatsApp, on a
Yeah,
Facebook
Facebook.
Messenger,
Yeah,
on text message. The bar app, all the bar employees are there. The bar app is there. You know what I mean? Security could put on their we need this, or the bartender could tell security or the barbacks or whoever, we need help with this, or this ran out today. The owner knows what he has to buy tomorrow, stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's what that is. I'm excited about that. Uh, Realistically, I know it takes time, especially with the apps. The more I research it, it takes like 2, 3 years for it to, like, actually,
yeah. You can pick up.
yeah, to pick up and actually get clients for it. But it's already at a good stage right now. I think the blueprint is there and everything else. Now it's just time to tweak it
Hmm.
and get it out there. Once people start using it, they'll see the benefit of it. And then,
Yeah,
like I said, the price point is way less than other apps and other stuff that's out there right now, and it does way more.
yeah,
So that's where I'm at with that. So I'm
yeah,
excited about it. That's one thing that it's like a little side project
yeah.
right now.
Because the communication part is what got me the most.
Hmm.
Because I remember there was times where I would go help out at the bar just because there was no one was ordering food,
Yeah, yeah,
and then the bartender would be like, "Oh, can you go get me a bottle of this?" Cool.
yeah,
I would go, I'll get the bottle, come back, and they're like, "Oh, why now I need a bottle of this?"
yeah,
And it's like, well, there's no way you could call me or anything. And then immediately when I saw they said like communication, just sending the message, I'm like, yeah, that would have worked out perfectly
yeah.
because I was already there. I could have just been, oh, pick this up too, you know?
And honestly,
Mm.
like, to that point, I made it like, if you were to open up a bar tomorrow and you had that app, you would be like, oh, like, okay, like, this is my blueprint.
Hmm.
I mean, this is what I have to do, and this is how I do it. I mean, so like I see a lot of new bar owners and new people in the industry that don't understand stuff sometimes, and I get it. I mean, it's a learning curve. Um, So like the app, the same thing. I mean, that's what it helps with, because it's things that you're if you've never worked in the industry, you're not gonna think about it.
Yeah,
But once you see it on the app, you're gonna maybe you'll question it and be like, oh, like, I didn't think about that, or I didn't know that. You know what I mean,
yeah,
and stuff like that. So that's the thing, to
yeah.
help
Because
people out.
that's the thing, right? When you start something, you don't know the answers to everything.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
nobody does.
yeah.
I have a mentor. I haven't talked to him forever. I feel bad. Um, Se llama Paco Martinez. He's a tailor. He's a suit maker.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
um, and dude, he's ya está grande. But he would always tell me, he's like, the day you think you know something about he's like, he would tell me, I'm always learning. He's like, the day you think you know something, you know everything about your business. He says, the day you don't know anything. He's like, you always have to be learning,
Hmm.
and it's true. Like,
Yeah,
people that think they know everything. Um, the universe has a way of
testing it.
yeah, giving out reality
Yeah,
checks sometimes. And I mean, yeah, you always learn from everybody, bro. You learn something from everybody all the time. You can't be closed minded.
yeah,
Like with you guys, with the comedians, like, I watch your guys' podcasts, I listen to you guys, and I see, I mean, you guys, and like in the open mics and everything else, I see you guys learning from each other. You know
yeah.
what I mean, and everything else, and you learn from people's experiences. You know what I mean? That's
No,
how it
yeah,
works.
it's very true because I've heard the same too. Was yeah, the feel like the day you stop learning is the day that like you kind of I've heard like you're gonna stay stagnant too.
Yeah.
And because there's always some, especially now, like in this time where so many things are coming out, and like there's always so much more things. Sometimes you kind of have to like filter out what's the good and everything,
Hmm.
because sometimes just studies come out and they're like, hey, this is bad now. You're like, really? Like,
Yeah.
and it's just something with the agenda behind it. But you're right. Like, it's just once you once you feel like you know something, like that's when you're really gonna get tested.
Hmm.
Because there's times like I work at a hotel as a supervisor, and I'm like, I got this, and then something happens out of nowhere, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I remember hablando to the manager and everything, like, hey, so this happened, and I don't know what to do.
Hmm.
And then they're like, that's an easy fix, just do this and that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, all right, I would have never thought of. Now I know.
Yeah, I remember one time, um, this was a random conversation, but I always remember when he said that. One of my buddies was like, "Yeah, this guy had a problem with him all day. He was just being an asshole, because he was learning something new, and that the guy was being an asshole." And that he finally told me, he's like, you know what? I told him, I'm like, look, man, like you do this every day. This is your job. This is what you know how to do. I don't know it. So we have two options. You can just keep on getting mad at me, or you can teach me so I get as good as you are with it. But like you have to realize, I think that's what sometimes now having kids, bro, like uh
Yeah.
you learn that, like, yeah, like, dude, like they don't know everything to them is new. You know what I mean? So like you have to think like that, and especially like with employees and people, like, yeah, you don't assume everybody knows everything. You know? Like
Yeah.
don't assume people know what you know. Teach them, and then if they ask you questions, don't get frustrated. You know what I mean? Be like, just, yeah, like you could be the best at what you do. I mean, but that's you. You can't expect well, that one's a weird one.
Oh yeah.
It's there,
Right.
but yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Have you heard that saying about assume?
no.
When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. It's there's that, I don't know if you ever seen that joke where it's like an example of someone being like, "Hey, this is why you need to explain yourself fully." It's like it's two construction workers, and it's like, "Hey man, like I really gotta go to the bathroom," and his boss tells him like, "Hey, like here's the truck, um, go in the van, and you'll be good." And
Mhm.
so the guy like gets in the van and goes to a bathroom. Then there's another example where a guy's telling him the same thing. He's like, "Yeah, here, go in the van." And then he checks and he's taking a dump in the van.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, this is why you gotta explain yourself. Like, no, go find a bathroom, take the van to the nearest bathroom.
Yeah,
But yeah, cause yeah, you're right. Some they even with my experience with it, even in the laundry room, like I used to fold a lot of towels as a houseman. So
mhm.
I figured like, yeah, it's folding the towel. There's nothing that hard about it. But then I would tell people, like, oh, just fold it, make it look like this. And then I see them do it, and I'm like, no, wait, hold on. Make sure you do it like this. Check this, and make sure like it was a good reality check in the sense of like, no, yeah, you really got to show people what you mean and have that patience to be like, hey, this is what it is.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And but yeah, we met at Studios 63 when we were doing the open mic.
Yeah,
Have you always been a fan of comedy?
yeah. I
Yeah.
have. I think comedy, dude. I was talking to somebody. I was talking with somebody about it. I feel like comedy. Growing up in growing up in. All right, so like to answer that question, yes, I've always been a fan of comedy, and I think because, bro, growing up like in a hectic household, comedy is like the great neutralizer, and I feel like that's why, like, when
Mm,
everybody says like comedy in Chicago, you don't make people laugh easily. It's a hard place to do comedy. I think it's because, not that Chicago's a hard place to live, you know what I mean, but we're hardened people, I guess.
yeah.
Winters and summers, crime, and just everything in general. Um, but comedy like neutralizes all that. You know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where you are. You know what I mean, if you make people laugh, like everybody's just
Yeah.
relaxed and chill. You know what I mean? And I feel like, yeah, like ever since I was a little kid. I mean, like, my dad wasn't a guy that like would laugh at a lot of stuff.
Mm,
So if it would make him laugh, like I knew it was funny.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, um, so yeah, so like, and I will always remember that, like, when he was laughing or whatever, like everybody was just having a good time. So for me, comedy has always been like that one thing that like brings calmness to the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, yeah, and then I grew up in the 80s and 90s to where everybody would roast each other and everybody,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Like
watching comedy, I
the
mean,
height of like your mama jokes and everything. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I mean, so like, so yeah, so like comedy, just, I don't know, I've always it's always been a part
Mhm.
of.
Did you gravitate it towards stand up, or was it kind of like shows, improv, or
No, like stand up. Because when I was a kid, bro, that's when Def Comedy Jam was on
oh, okay,
TV.
yeah,
So like that was, you never. I think what it is for me too is that when I was growing up, you didn't have a lot of Latino comics.
hmm,
You know what I mean? We had Paul Rodriguez. Um, that was before even like George Lopez and all that
yeah,
became mainstream. You know what I mean? Like all we had was that and Cheech Marine. Like those were our like our
Yeah,
representations
yeah.
of comedians. So for us, so like when Def Comedy Jam came out, and like it was minorities, it was morenos that were like they were funny. Like bro, like my dad was never gonna sit there and
Yeah, yeah.
put us
Why?
on to este. Sorry, calling
No,
from the
it's
house. Este,
Bernie Mac or
yeah,
yeah,
you know what I
Chris
mean.
Rock. Yeah.
So like that was like mind blowing to us, like watching it and seeing all these jokes and everything else, and then like how we could relate to a lot of it. And then so like that, and then we saw and then that's when Carlos Mencia like hit, like when he was still not mainstream, where he was like barely
Coming up.
coming up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, and we were like, whoa, like a Latino was on there. So yeah, like stand up was always the thing. I don't think we really had anything for us in that time that was like shows or anything like that.
Hmm.
As there's Mexican comedians, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
but they were all like adult jokes and
Yeah, yeah.
doble sentido, so you didn't
Yeah.
really
You didn't get it at the moment.
no,
Yeah.
you didn't get it at the moment.
Because even then, like, I remember watching Laura Pico.
No,
You never watched it? I think
no.
I don't know if it was 66 or for I don't know if Telemundo or Universe. I don't know. What I'm talking like if people know the channels, but I it was Sundays. It was Sundays like around like 6 p.m. They would watch, but they would always have like these three women just in bikinis. And I
Uh-huh.
remember just watching like just because of the ladies.
Yeah,
And then there was jokes and stuff, and then like sometimes I hear like my mom and my dad kind of chuckle at it,
yeah.
but I'd be like, I don't get what's so funny about that.
Mm-hmm.
Or también the movies that like La Playa or something like that. Exactly. They'd be like movies that they just kind of did like adult jokes like at a beach or like little sketches.
Uh-huh.
So so you kind of right with the like growing up. Like I didn't get most of it. Like,
Yeah, like
and every now and then there's a clown, like a
yeah,
Mexican clown, or like for Latinos.
yeah, for Latinos, like yeah, some of the comedy, like I don't know, like yeah, there's always clowns, there's always adults acting like kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of weird, like just different
yeah.
different
Now
types of
that you
stuff.
say it, like I think the only comedy I understood from like Spanish comedy I understood was like La Escuelita.
Oh, La Escuelita,
Yeah,
yeah, like improv.
yeah. Where yeah, they were hilarious making these sketches. Like, yeah, you said grown adults acting like they were school children, and it was Jorge
Jorge
Ortiz
or
or
Pinedo, like yeah, La Escuelita. See, like all that stuff. It came. That was like the early 2000s. Before that, I think the biggest comedian stuff that I remember, like Latino stuff, there was like all those, yeah, like all those, like they were like they're not dirty movies, but they were like adult movies. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like yeah, just like the
yeah,
doble de sentido, a lot of stuff like that. Sábado Gigante, I think, was like the only place that I could like really see where it was like a family kind of thing,
hmm
where they had like the comedians. But yeah, back then that was the thing. So like stand up's always been like the thing that I gravitated to is to
yeah.
watching comedy, improv and all that stuff. It's cool, like I like it, but I think like
It's more hit and miss too with the
yeah,
consistency of laughs.
see, yeah, I think and then honestly, like the only
Like
improv,
still props to them, but it's like it's
yeah,
hard to stay consistent with.
yeah, like I think the only improv stuff that I could say that I would watch was like Saturday Night Live.
Hmm.
And then for a while, whose line is it anyway?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That one was funny. But other than that, like I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
yeah. Because before the 36 chamber open mic, they used to have shows there, right? Or competitions too, somewhat in the
No.
studios, or
So what happened was I was trying to get a comedy show there.
hmm
Um, Maybe like even like a year into like owning the bar, and I just couldn't. I couldn't. I just in in Chicago, bro. There's a lot of gatekeepers.
hmm
Um, there used to be. I feel like now they see that it's not a good thing. Um, I don't want to say that we're the ones that changed that, but I feel like a lot of things changed when we started doing that and started putting people on. Este, um, we had the comedy show there, but like everything, dude, I needed to change things up. I couldn't just have it the same old thing over and over again. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I think like that's what I think kept the Chicago comedy scene stagnant for a while. Um, One, Chicago's really segregated.
Yeah.
So even now, like I see you drive around, you go to all these open mics in different areas and everything else.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you could back me up on this. There's different comedy scenes. There's not
Yeah.
like just like an open one, like I don't know, like in other cities where like you have a diverse crowd. I mean, where you'll have different ethnicities
Yeah.
in one show. I mean, here you have all the African Americans show. I mean, you have all the Latino show. You have all the white people show. You know, what I mean?
Kind of the woke crowd too.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
just
like
it's
there's
yeah.
no mix, anything. Like, dude, like that's how Chicago was. So we started our thing. You know what I mean? Everybody was just on their own thing, and I get it. You know what I mean? No one was giving opportunities. When I started there, Armando helped me out a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Armando, I always give him credit because
Shout out Armando.
yeah, because he
Yeah.
is still he came along. He had met one of our bartenders, Jenny, and he had told her that about comedy, and then she had told him that yeah, we've been trying to. He stopped by. Long story short, we put a show together, and the shows were good, but the same thing. Um, I felt like we were gatekeeping. We weren't putting on different people. That's when I had reached out to. At that time, I reached out to Ruben Ramirez.
Yeah.
So Ruben Ramirez, um, to my credit, I give him a lot of credit, bro, because he's another one that puts on a lot of people, and he's always trying to help other comedians. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
um, yeah, like he'd be like, hey, I'll come by, I'll do a show, but I want to put these guys on too. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
bring them by, and he did. And before that, before Almando and before Ruben, um, and before Obi and everybody else that helped out to make it what it was, is the yeah, dude, it would be the same. It would be the same people that were already having shows everywhere else. You know what I mean? There wasn't no diversification. It was the same thing over and over again. And I feel like, and they weren't putting on the younger comics or the newer comics.
Yeah.
And I think that's so when we did that, we kept changing, and I kept doing it. That's why I brought an open mic to bring in more people. And yeah, and if we would have still been there, dude, I would have probably done some more things that I had planned already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing. I think we had one comedy competition. I wanted to make it an annual thing. We just did it for 1 year though, and then after that we closed and we stopped that format that we had. But my plan was to make that into a thing. I mean, a thing
Yeah.
where maybe people would start traveling for it. I would always pay a little bit more than I know everybody else did for stuff for the comedians, but that was to incentivize everybody to really do their best and
Yeah.
come out, and to try to get people that weren't gonna go to Summit, Illinois.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know what I'm saying? Like that was my thing. That my thing was to do that, to reinvest, to make things better.
Yeah. Because obviously, well, technically, Studios Six Studios, the second place I did stand up. My first open mic was at just this. My barber hosted like this random spot,
Uh huh.
and but I did three. I wrote what I thought was 5 minutes, but I said it so fast that it was three.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I thought open mics were rare after that. So then I was like, all right, I guess when the next one happens, I'll go.
Yeah.
Little did I know they're like everywhere now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I found out about studios, I went to the first one, and I remember thinking like, all right, like this might, you know, just knock it out, like see what, like just do it,
Mhm.
lo que venga venga, like we'll be all right. And the I don't know because it was my first like home mic, but I felt like it was a real special place. Like it was one of those like I think you'd see it like I would get there early.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was there like just as you guys open, and that goes to not even mentioning the times that I would be there just waiting in the car,
Yeah. Yeah.
just because I was like, all right, cool, like let's do this.
Yeah.
And even then, like I want to give you your flowers and thank you for like even booking me for the first my first show
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
because I remember when they posted the announcement of like, hey, we want to do a show. If you could, I think it was like if you could do 5 minutes, you would get $50. Oh, there was a pricing on it, like,
Hmm.
and I remember thinking like, all right, I'm gonna come up with the good, like I think try to go for the most,
Yeah.
and just having that moment of like my stomach just turned around like, can you do it?
Uh,
Like, and even then, if you can you do it in front of so many people?
yeah, yeah.
Because I remember the first time I invited people to come out just see me at the open mic. It was also Joey's birthday.
Okay.
So there was a lot more people than I thought it was. And I'm like, if I was nervous then, how
Yeah,
are we
yeah,
going to do it when it's a show?
yeah.
But, but yeah, no, thank you. You know, I feel like this year has, this year would have been completely different if it wasn't for Studio 663.
Yeah.
And I think that's where like it's very, yeah, it just has a spot in my heart.
Oh, I thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Because, and yeah, and then that's why when I know you do a lot of things. So I'm like, yeah, you know, let's make sure we keep people having eyes on it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Right now, um, the insurance, the insurance brokerage that I have, that's my job. That's what I've always done. I'm good at it. So that's what I concentrate on more right now.
Hmm.
And that's I opened up a new office on the north side in Humboldt Park on North Avenue in Kedzie.
Is that insurance overall, or kind of do you specify?
So overall, I do all insurance except for health insurance.
Okay.
My biggest my biggest, I guess you could say, sweet spot, or the thing that I do the most is like commercial insurance.
Hmm.
So like property stuff like that. I used to do a lot of house insurance. I still do a lot of it, but more now. I think that's the one thing that I learned from the bar. Was the commercial side of insurance. I met a lot of I met a lot more business owners, and I started doing a lot more commercial stuff. And then that's you know what I mean. But that's what I do. That's what's going on with me right now. That's what I'm focusing on um this year, and going strong and getting ready already for next year with it. Is the that's what I do right now. And then the other thing I got going on is the app that I'm developing. And then on the back end, I do bar stuff,
Yeah.
but it's really time consuming. I really try to be as much hands off as I can
Hmm.
and let other people take charge of it.
Yeah. Because as much as I would love to own a bar, I don't think I would be able to be there every day. I'll drink most of the profits.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, man. People think having a restaurant, having a bar, it's fun and this and that, but they have to realize when they go, they just go. It's like going to Mexico,
Yeah.
like what I mean. Like it's great because you're there on vacation. You don't have to do anything. You're just it's a whole highlight reel.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Like when you go to bars and restaurants, you go there and you have a good time and everything else. But you have to realize like the owners are there 7 days a week. I mean,
Yeah.
even when you're not working, you're working. You're still thinking about stuff that you have to do. It's really time consuming. As the It is like you work 17 days, 17-day hours per se. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Um,
Because
yeah,
yeah, I can only. I think a lot of people might. I mean, I guess the most. I know a lot of it. I didn't watch a lot of it, but like Cheers always gave me the idea of like that's how it'd be to own a bar.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
just my friends coming by and everything. But then yeah, no, I mean yeah, you see like I had my friend tell me that he had a friend that he knew from high school, I believe,
Mm,
that he had gotten promoted at Little Caesars.
okay.
And that this guy, an issue he was having with that new position was that he had to worry about cheese now.
Mm,
He's like, yeah, because like I have to order the right amount for like the week, because obviously if I order too little, like we'll run out. But if I order too much and we don't use it, this is gonna start going bad, and then it's gonna mess up my next order. And he's like, yeah, he's like, and then my friend was kind of like, it's ironic now that he's like, who worries about cheese, you know?
yeah,
Like, but I feel like obviously being like an extent of like like a bar owner or just sometimes your own business, like you realize that there's certain things that you don't know that you're gonna be worried about now.
Yeah,
Like
definitely. Yeah, like the cost of everything right now. You know what I mean, like everybody talks about the price of tacos, dude. The price of everything has gone up. You know what I
yeah,
mean, like people aren't the when you know what I mean when someone charges you $5 for a taco, you have to realize like all the overhead that goes into that one taco. They're not making
yeah,
$5. You know what I mean, their margins are slim as it is. You know what I mean, so you maybe make you know what I mean. I don't want to throw percentages out there because I don't know the numbers, but yeah, like you got to think that taco goes the meat, the vegetables, the tortillas, the oil, the employees. You know what I mean, the gas that it's cooked on, the employees, the taxes,
yeah.
everything, bro. So you know what I mean, so like
The
at the end of
sauce.
the sauce,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that they give you for free, napkins, it's the water, everything, bro.
yeah,
Everything has a cost. You know what I mean, and that's the biggest thing. I think people don't realize overhead. Overhead is a big thing. If you don't really calculate your overhead right, you know what I mean, yeah, your profits, you know what I mean, you're not making what your gross profits compared to actual profits are whole,
mm,
to well, yeah, not gross profit, but gross income
yeah,
compared
yeah,
to profits is totally different. I mean, it's
yeah,
yeah. So like that's the thing. It's like a comedian. You know what I mean? You get paid so much for a show or whatever, but you still got to calculate your time, your gas, you know what I mean,
yeah,
everything else, your wardrobe,
yeah,
everything goes into it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, yeah, they paid you this much for to go, but you might be putting in out of your pocket
yeah.
money just to get there and do the show.
I'm gonna ask you a sincere question just because you said the word and I see it a lot and I don't understand it. What does gross income mean?
Gross income means so if you let's all right, I'll give you a perfect example.
Okay.
For a long time, everybody wanted to do taquisas.
Hmm.
Everybody thought they were going to get rich off taquisas because the taquero would get to your house and they would charge you $500. So everybody's like, man, he's making $500 every Saturday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's gross. That's before all his expenses.
Oh,
That's
okay.
before his meat, before his salsas, before his tortillas, before his equipment, before
Hmm.
everything, before his
The
time,
travel.
the travel,
Yeah.
todo. So that's what gross means. That it means everything before, like that's
Expenses
the
and stuff.
before expenses. You know what I mean? So yeah, and then once you know what I mean, that's what came in, but
Hmm.
that's not what went out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense now. Cause yeah, obviously I see it in checks and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that number doesn't look gross. Like,
yeah, like your check. That's
yeah.
a perfect example. Your gross is you know what I mean, you make 50,000 a year, but then
Hmm.
Uncle Sam gets his cut
Yeah.
and takes 20, 30, and then you're only making 20. You know what I mean, like
No.
that's
Okay.
it. I don't know if it's that much, but you know what I mean, like stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's what gross means.
That makes more sense now. Just because I was seeing it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what this is, but you know what? I I don't think I know enough people that would be able to tell me the correct answer.
Yeah, it's
And
just
then,
again, bro, things you learn.
yeah.
You know what I mean, just with time.
Um, from your time that being at studios or something, is there like a night that you think about more, like in a sense, like this was a great night for business, or that just it was like the vibes were just right?
There's a couple. I
Yeah.
think that night through the night that you guys did the comedy show. So there's two nights that I was like I could say like, oh man, I was proud of them. Like I was like, man, like we rocked it.
Yeah.
The night you guys were on, I feel like that night we did really well. The night Ruben Ramirez, the first night he was there,
Hmm.
everything that could have gotten like not wrong, but every like little we were just having technical issues all night. And so one thing that happened that like it was just it was just stuff that we had just learning stuff.
Hmm.
So the lighting, we were always trying to figure out the lighting, and we're trying to program the lights. That we had like these overhead lights that that like would turn everything, but they would be like spotlights. But they were always since they were Bluetooth connected, for some reason. I don't know if it was just too much interference when people were there, or like when it was packed, but it would always disconnect and it would do weird stuff. So that one night, I mean, the place was packed. We were busy. That was Obi's first show there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe his first show in general. and it's that he opened it up, and then we had like 4 or 5 comedians, and then when Ruben came on, the lights went out, dude, and I was like, what the fuck, man? And then Armando's yelling at me, he's like, bro, the lights, and I'm like, dude, I know,
Yeah.
like, so like I ran up there and we had the little like patio lights right there, so I turned those on right away. But like I think that's the sign of being a professional and knowing how to do things. Then I think that's a big difference between people that get it done and people that don't. We could have just been like, fuck, man, you know what I mean? And just, but no, like we kept on going, we kept the show going.
Yeah.
Ruin kept on making jokes about it. Este,
Being smooth about it.
being smooth
Yeah.
about it. The show must go on. It's that people didn't know that wasn't part of it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're there to have a good time. At the end, dude, he got a standing ovation. I think that might have been his first standing ovation. He got there. Um, like he rocked it, dude. Everybody talked about that show for like I mean they talked they like, man, that was a great show. The same thing with the birthday show that we had where
Yeah.
you guys were on. I think that was a great show. Had a lot of had a lot of you guys on there.
Mm.
It was a packed house. The energy was good. That you know what I mean. You couldn't ask for anything
Yeah.
more. You know what I mean, little things here and there that I would have I would have tweaked. You know what I mean,
Hmm.
later. But other than that, I think you know what I mean. It went off without a hitch. There was things going on in the background that were
Yeah.
uh, doing and fixing, but you know what I mean. Like everybody had a good time. It's that those two for me, those the last years are probably like the highlight. I always like the open mics.
Yeah.
The open mics, I always like those. It's the comedy wise, those are the things that like I really liked. And then there was other nights too that like we had really good times there. It's there we had like bands, we had DJs, we had just stuff like there was certain nights that were just like wow, like
Yeah.
that was fucking badass. Um,
Like, let's do this again, you know?
yeah, like I wish man, if
Yeah.
like yeah, like where you're like, man, I wish every night was like this kind of thing, but it's hard to replicate. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
night after night after night, and I think that's another thing that's hard to replicate that night after night after night. Where you know what I mean, you have to keep on thinking of stuff. You know what I mean, trends come and go,
Hmm.
so you know what I mean, you might jump onto a trend or start a trend, and that might start going really well, but then it'll eventually it'll dwindle down. And you have to
Yeah.
think of the next thing. You
Yeah.
know?
Because, man, now that you say this, it got me thinking too. Like, you, S- Studio Scene Studio had a good, like, technical, even like the aesthetic of it, the view, like the stuff that you like, the art, like the vibe was good. So you set all that up, like the lights, the sound system, and everything.
Yeah, I had hope, but I mean, every time at the end of every night, we would be like, all right, what do we have to fix? What do we have to improve on? What do we have to do? Like the sound system, we worked on it and worked on it and worked on it. And even then, I didn't get it. I never got it to where I really wanted to get it. I think we were already at a really good point with it. Mic wise, sound wise, speaker wise, everything else. We just that was always my thing to reinvest into it and make it a better show. Because at the end of the day, for me, it was all about the experience. I mean, like I didn't have to put the gates up. I didn't have to put the curtains up. I didn't have to
Hmm.
do the tables. I could have just left it like that. But it wouldn't have made the atmosphere.
No, yeah.
It wouldn't have made it wouldn't have made it feel like a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that was all part of it. You know what I mean, that was part of the experience when you wanted people to walk in. You want to be like, okay, like this is not.
Yeah.
Um, you always want them to come in thinking one thing and walking in and be like, wait, well, this is not
Yeah.
this is not what I thought it was going to be. And you want them to leave. You want them to leave happy, surprised, and excited, and tell people about the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like we were getting there and getting there. It's just time. If there's one thing you can't control, it's time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Because you're right with like for like the first show, I remember the seeing the currents and like the setup of it, and it 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 got me more nervous because it hit me like, oh, this isn't just another mic, like it showed the like, hey, there's production in this, like there's
yeah,
people here, like this is, um, because yeah, in reality at that point it's like, hey, you're here to do a job now, like you're
yeah,
not here just to kind of work on something, you worked on it.
Right.
Now you're gonna perform, and then even the moment when it started, and just it was just us and the comics on the other side of the curtain, just being like, all right, cool. Like there's you definitely knew that like, hey, there's a show going on here.
Yeah, it's a goal. You want to be professional about it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think like um not saying that I never saw that over there,
Hmm.
but yeah, like I feel like you hadn't seen it for a long time like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, People were just putting stuff together and just like another thing for me. I always wanted a stage. Um, for the bands to stand on, for the comedians to stand on, for any performer to stand on, because I think no offense to anybody or bars, but uh, you're not showing any respect to the person that people are there to see if they're
Yeah.
just standing in the middle of a room. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have to at least elevate that person to so people will look and focus on them.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I wanted. You know what I mean, we tried our best to do it. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
with the budget we had, and I think we succeeded. I
Yeah.
honestly
You
like
did. You did.
I
Yeah.
don't think I don't know I haven't seen any shows. You know what I mean, like
Yeah.
that get to that level yet. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah. And then because that first show was just obviously just being a part of it was amazing, you know. And then you're right with the stage. As I've done certain spots or shows where we're just kind of like on the same, like not standing on anything, and I feel like there's times where I'm like, all right, now people aren't treating this like a show.
Yeah.
Like I'm just someone here just talking, you
Hmm.
know. Yeah, I got a mic to kind of like elevate myself, or whatever. But I feel like now it's like people are just like, oh, he's just there.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna keep doing my thing,
Right. Yeah.
and then yeah, and I think those I don't do it as well.
Well, yeah. It's just you're not creating the atmosphere. You know what I mean, and the energy. Um. So I used to be a member at the House of Blues
Mhm.
for their they have like a members only spot in there. But I think the comedy show that they have there is open to the public. You just have to get tickets. I haven't been there in a while, but that what it is man, I don't remember the name of it anymore. It's in the House of Blues. You take an elevator up to it, and you go in this bar, and it's like 2 floors, and it's like they have like rooms. It's really cool. But they had a Tuesday. They used to do it on Tuesdays. I think they might have it on Thursdays now. Man, what is it called? It's the House of Blues something room. But if you look into that show, that's where that before I bought the bar, I used to go there all the time because I was a member. So like I would go and there was free shows. It was a cool spot to hang out and just relax
Yeah.
and be stress free. But they would have then that's what they would do. They would have it like in this room and the room and dude, their stage was tiny. It was small,
Mhm.
but the energy and the atmosphere in that room, bro, you couldn't like. And we would talk to some of the comedians afterwards, be like, yeah, man, like we love coming here. Like this is the energy in this room is I mean it's different. I mean like it's really cool and that's why a lot of comedians want to do the thing. So I always had that in mind when I wanted to do the comedy in at the bar. I know I want that. I want a room that people are gonna want to come to.
Yeah.
And um that's why we were always working on it. I mean always trying to get it
Yeah.
but make it better and better and better.
No, you did. I feel like yeah, it was a good room. It's a great room.
Yeah.
Like and yeah, I have a lot of good memories there. From I don't know if they ever told you that I threw up before I went on stage.
Yeah, I've heard you say it on other
Yeah.
podcasts. Yeah.
It was just the moments the nerves hitting. I'm like, just at first I'm like, I'm just gonna use the bathroom real quick, and then they hit me like, oh, you got to do that right now, because if not, you don't want to do it out there. Like,
It happens.
yeah, because Hondo was going, and I know he was. I think since obviously Hondo, and Joey started together,
Hmm.
we were working on our sets together. I'm like, he's halfway through it.
Yeah.
I'm like, in 4 minutes, that's gonna be you,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, let's just get this out now. Last thing I wanted is on stage, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been epic.
Yeah, right. It would have been a whole different year for when it went down.
Yeah.
But all right, Louis, before we get out here, is there any advice you would want to give anyone that would want to start their business, or advice that you wish you were given in it from all your experience with it?
I'll give you. I'll tell you what I tell people that ask me about businesses. Um, you have to have a business plan. A
Mm,
business plan always is the blueprint to everything. Um, there's that now it's even easier. Before you had to like read books on how to write a business plan. Now there's software out there where all you do is go in there and answer. You tell it what kind of business you're going to open, and it asks you all these questions, and then you just keep on answering the questions, answering the questions, and then it'll literally write out of all your questions. It'll format and write a business plan for you, um, and it'll paint the picture for you. I think you need that. As a matter of fact, I had a conversation the other day with somebody, and they were like, "Dude, you need to start. Where's your business plan?" And you know what? I haven't gone back to fix it. I mean, like I've had every business I've had, I've made a business plan, but I haven't. You're supposed to you write the business plan, you open the business, you go back, you tweak your business plan. You know what I mean,
Hmm.
you start because you know what I mean,
The
nothing.
changes
The
happen.
changes
Yeah.
happen, everything else, and you write your business plan. And I think that's honestly that's probably the best. Any business you're gonna open, um, a business plan. A business plan, that's what it does. It gives you guidance. I mean, it's your roadmap to how you're gonna do things, and like I said, with the software that's out there now, and it's been out there, so I haven't used it in a while, so I'm not sure even now it's even better.
Yeah.
It's gonna ask you questions that you didn't think about. You know what I mean, things that like let's say you were gonna open up a business tomorrow, and it asks you, Ruben, what's gonna be your gross for the first year? And you're gonna be like, well, I don't know what the word gross means. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So like right there alone, that's something that you never even thought of. I mean, you're gonna think about. It's gonna ask you questions about, your margin. What's your margins? What's gonna be the cost of this? What's gonna be the cost of that? The business plans. That's what it is. And like I said, right now with technology, I mean, you could do whatever you want. I mean, in regards to like businesses and actually like you have answers. Before, think about it. Before people like that would open businesses or that would, you know what I mean, it was generational. I mean,
Hmm.
their dad actually started doing something, and then they learned from their dad learned from their dad, and they learned from them. You know what I mean? That's why you have like all these old they say old money. It's old money, but it's because that knowledge that they passed on back then
Yeah.
was generational. You know what I mean? So like they knew stuff that you weren't gonna know,
Yeah.
or like you didn't have access to. Now we have access to all that stuff. So basically, it's just put in the
Implementing it. Yeah.
implementing and putting in the work. And you know what I mean? And so, but a business plan for sure, dude. And then I think the biggest ongoing joke with business owners is, everybody opens a business to have more time because everybody says, I want more time to myself.
Yeah.
Like that's not gonna happen. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like,
The exact opposite.
yeah, it's the exact opposite. So like, if you want free time, you want vacations and stuff. Free, you know what I mean, like, just try to find a job that's gonna pay well and
Yeah.
and gives
Yeah.
vacation time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I feel, yeah, it's very sacrificing the time, right? Because you could still take the time, but don't expect that business to thrive, right?
yeah, exactly. And then it's like at home. Sometimes they ask me like, well, what time are you getting home today? And I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go home at 5. I'm gonna go home at 6. I get home at 7:30, 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
because I can't clock out. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Another client calls me, oh, I have to do this now. Or I forgot I had to do this at the beginning of the day. I have to do this now before I leave, because then the next morning, you know what I mean, that's gonna
Yeah.
throw everything else off. So like, yeah, like that's a big thing with about business is that. But I think like, if you're gonna start a business, any business, a business plan, dude. Even the easiest, simplest business plan, a lemonade stand.
Hmm.
Write a business plan, and I guarantee you're gonna think of things that you didn't think about, and you can have a basic uh, lemonade stand, or you have a badass
Yeah.
lemonade stand that no one thought about. You know what I mean? Why? Because you have a business plan that you implemented things, and you use software now that asks you things that you didn't think about, and now I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense because, like, say you have a certain amount of money that you want to put into the business, right?
yeah,
And with the business plan, you could realize, like, hey, you actually have a lot more than you need. And then
mhm,
that's when you realize, whoa, maybe I could expand on this.
yeah,
Like example with the lemonade stand, right? Say it's like, hey, I'm gonna put $1,000 on this
yeah, yeah,
lemonade stand, and it's like, dude, you only need 200.
yeah, yeah,
And then be like, all right, cool, por agua fresca, celotes, and then you realize, like, hey, something that you could have just been spending all that on one thing, but a business plan really allowed you to see a bigger picture, you know?
Yeah, or vice versa.
Mm,
You're gonna open up. You say, I have $1,000. I'm gonna open up this business, and you write your business plan. You're like, wait a minute, like I have
nothing.
nothing. You're like, I don't even have. You know what I mean, to do
Yeah,
half of what I thought I was gonna do. You know what I mean, so that's what that business plan does. You know what I mean,
nice.
and like I said, like now, dude, like you don't have to be um, a genius or you're gonna have to be studied or educated. You know what I mean? Like technology is all there now. You know what I mean? You don't have before you have, think about it, before you have to go to the library and go to like the card index.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
look
yeah.
like, all right, where's the books on business plans? And
Yeah,
then go read like 10 different ones on how to on their theory of what a business plan should be. You know what I mean? Now you just go in there and you have AI now that that has all that
yeah.
knowledge, and it helps you to
Put it
and
together and
put
then
it
just like,
together and
here you
everything
go.
else. Yeah, you know,
Nice.
yes, business
But
plans.
Louis, do you want to throw your social medias out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones I have, I think we still have the Studio 63 Summit.
Hmm.
That one's still out there. We're rebranding it. It's gonna be more of this amor. Este Studio
Yeah.
63, but the brands are still the Studio 63 Summit for the IG, the Facebook, all the other stuff that we have out. I think the TikToks on there like that. For insurance. It's Golden Owl Insurance. That one I have an Instagram and I have that. The marketing for that I had stopped a long time ago just because I was always working on the marketing for the bar.
Hmm.
But yeah, like the insurance one, that's that. And then yeah, like those are those. And then
Cantina Pro.
Cantina Pro
Hmm.
is the other one. That one I have to work on the marketing for that one.
Hmm.
That's something that I've been lacking on. Este, but again, um, just time. And then, but yeah, those Cantina Pro for sure. Cantina Pro and Golden Owl Insurance, and then Summit, Studio 63 Summit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Make sure you guys follow them. Make sure you bring on some insurance business as well, man. Like,
Yeah, all the business owners do. I've saved, I've saved some bars like tens of thousands, dude.
yeah,
Yeah, like again, like I'm a business owner, so I kind of know the numbers and stuff like that. I've talked to other owners. They tell me how much they're paying.
yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Just let me run it. Let me see what I can do. And yeah, they're like way cheaper. I try to take care of everybody. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not out there to make a killing off of one deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try to help everybody, and you know what I mean?
You ever think you would like say like close something great with the client, and then they're so happy, like they're like, man, let's get a drink, and you're like, I know a spot, like,
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
take them to studios.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have clients. I have
yeah,
clients that I talk to a lot. You know, or like we have good conversations and long conversations about stuff. And then yeah, like the longer you're in business, the more clients, the more people you meet. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So yeah, it's cool. Though. I like it. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing at this moment that I would change
yeah.
realistically. I'm blessed.
But that, thank you, Louis. Thanks for coming out. You also thank you for putting me on the show that will be this Saturday, July 20. What is it? 25th with Armando.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Armando he has the show on the north side. We do it. You guys kill it.
yeah.
I always say I'm gonna go to the shows, dude, and I end up
No,
not going. I
yeah,
really do try. It's just with the kids and everything else,
yeah,
it's not as easy.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, but I will eventually make it out to a show or to open mic to
Yeah.
check you guys out.
And this one's closer to your home turf, so
Yeah, MCM, I think it is.
yeah,
MCM.
MCM.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've been wanting to go for a while. I know Amanda's been doing shows there now periodically, so that is one. It's on my list of things to do this summer.
I'm gonna ask if I could have like a chair with your name on it, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be checking it every now and then,
It'll be like in
like
those movies where
yeah,
like all of a sudden I'm sitting there and
yeah.
you're
I'm like, he's not there, but you're in the back,
yeah.
and then I just bomb like. But all right, guys, that was another episode of Wait What. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.